Strong Enough by Sheryl Crow has a lovely guitar picking pattern in the key of D. Released in 1993, the song has a variety of picking pattern, strummed verses and strummed choruses. We have some old favourite open chords, some tasty variations, and it's a real joy to play. Starting with the picking pattern, the first 4 chord shapes we need: D major, we need a G, but we'll only be fretting the 3rd fret of the lowest sounding E string, and then playing the D, G and B strings, so strings 4, 3 and 2. We'll be playing a B minor flat 6, which is a tasty chord, and an A major. Breaking this down into 4 different patterns, 1 for each chord, we're in 6/8, so there's 6 beats per bar, and we have a 2-bar pattern in total. Starting with the D chord, we play the thumb on the D string, then take the 3 fingers, the index, middle and ring fingers, sit them on the G, B and E strings, and pull them out together. We then go back to the D with the thumb, play the index finger on the G by itself. On the chord hand, we take the middle finger off the E string, and with our 3rd finger, ring finger on the picking hand, play the E string open and hammer on the middle finger back to the 2nd fret of the E. That may take a little bit of work for some of you. Some of you may have conquered the hammer on. That's a lot to do with placement on the fret, so get a nice determined bang onto the string for that 2nd note. Counting that, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and, we now move to the G shape. In order that these notes continue to ring out as long as possible, I actually like to catch the 3rd fret of the low E with my thumb, because it buys me a little bit of time, and because this picking pattern sustains for the most part, I like how smooth that makes the change. So we have options. We can either go from the D and then take that middle finger, jump it up to the 3rd fret of the low E string, or play the D and take the thumb and fret the 3rd fret of the low E string. Either way you choose to do that is perfectly fine. The picking pattern for the G plays thumb on the low E string, and then index, middle and ring fingers on the open D, G and B strings. Counting the whole bar from D chord to G chord: 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 5 and 6 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 5 and 6 and. The next chord is the B minor with a flat 6. Here we play the thumb on the A string to play the root note B, and then we take the index, middle and ring fingers to simultaneously pick the D, G and B strings. We then separately play A string, D string, G string, B string. One and 2 and 3 and 4 and then we move to the A chord. Thumb plays the A string, and index, middle and ring fingers play the D, G and B strings. Playing the B minor flat 6 to the A, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 5 and 6 and. Doing the whole sequence slowed down, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 5 and 6 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 5 and 6 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 5 and 6 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 5 and 6 and. If you're looking for some practice tips for this, start slow. The strings all need to ring into each other. It's a very gentle picking pattern. Once you've got the movements nice and smooth, then begin to speed it up. This picking pattern plays through the intro and verse 1. It's twice for the intro and 4 times for verse 1. When we get to the second verse, we start to incorporate a strumming pattern and some slightly different variations of the chords that we've just learned. We still play the D chord. We play a G, but this time a full G. You can play the 3-fingered variation or the 4-fingered variation. I'll leave that up to you. We also play a B minor 7, and we still play an A as we were doing previously. Continuing with the 6/8 time signature, I'll show you one bar of the muted rhythm to set a foundation. So laying your fingers on the chord hand lightly across the strings to mute those strings, we play down, down, up, down, up, down, down. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 5 and 6 and. Bringing the chords in, we have a D chord to play the down, down, up, down, up. We change to G for the down, down. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 5 and 6 and. We then move to the B minor 7, do the same rhythm as we did for the D. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and then change to the A chord for the 5 and 6 and. So playing those 2 bars with the 4 chords, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 5 and 6 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 5 and 6 and. This becomes our strumming pattern for the rest of the verses now. Developing this further, we can divide these chords into root notes and chord tones to vary the dynamics and the feel of the strumming pattern a little bit. It gives us more of a bounce, a little bit more momentum. So when we're playing the D, we will play the root note first on beat 1, the root note being the open D string. For beat 2, we'd play the rest of the chord tones. Then we will play the up, down, up on the chord tones. Change into the G, we play the root note on beat 5, the root note being on the E string, the low E string, and the chord tones for beat 6. Moving to B minor 7, the root note on the A string, the A chord, the root notes on the A string. This is now your strumming pattern for the verses. For verse 2, we play the rhythm and the chords 4 times round. 5, 6. Nothing's true and nothing's right. You can't change the way I am. Moving on to the chorus now, we are building the momentum and the energy. We still have the same strumming pattern as the verse, but we're going to sprinkle a few more chords into the mix. An E minor chord, a D sus2/F sharp chord. We have a G and an A, which we've previously been through, a B minor 7, we have a C, and then a G, and then an A. So this is a 4-bar pattern and it plays 2 times round. Counting you through this, slow down. E minor, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. D sus2/F sharp, 5 and 6 and G, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and A, 5 and 6 and B minor 7, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and C, 5, 6, G, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and A, 5, 6. We are dividing the chords into root notes and chord tones again to keep the variety and keep that momentum. A little bit quicker. 5, 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Adding in a little bit of lyrical content. 5, 6, lie to me. Lie to me. The structure of the song's fairly straightforward. We have the picking intro and the picking verse 1. We have an instrumental where the strumming starts to come in. We have verse 2, that is the strummed verse. Then we have the chorus. We then have an instrumental, verse 3, instrumental, verse 4, and then the chorus. We end on a picked D chord. I'll now play through the intro, verse 1, verse 2 and the chorus so you can hear how these fit together. 5, 6. God, I feel like hell tonight. Less to help you understand. Nothing's true and nothing's right. You can't change the way I am. Lie to me. Lie to me, but please don't leave. Whilst you're in the throes of picking, in this next video I show you how to play True Colours by Cyndi Lauper. I'll see you next time.